Java, a high-level, multi-paradigm programming language famous for its ability to compile to platform-independent bytecode. It was designed by James Gosling in 1990 at Sun Microsystems. One of its first demonstrations was the Star 7 PDA, which gave birth to the Java mascot Duke. Today, it's one of the world's most popular programming languages. It powers enterprise web apps with Spring Framework, big data pipelines with Hadoop, mobile apps on Android, and even things like the controller for NASA's Maestro Mars rover. What made Java innovative is that instead of compiling to machine code, like C or C++, it compiles to bytecode that can run on any operating system without recompiling, which is made possible by executing the code with the Java Virtual Machine or JVM. It's both a compiled and interpreted language at the same time. The computer just needs to have the Java Runtime Environment or JRE installed, and most of them do. For developers, this means write once, run anywhere. It's a strongly typed language with a curly brace syntax similar to the C family. However, it provides more high-level features like garbage collection, runtime type checking, and reflection. To get started, install the Java Development Kit or JDK, then create a file ending in .java. Every Java program starts with a class name, which should also match the file name. The class is required to have a main method. This is where your code will start executing. Inside the method, define a variable by starting with a type followed by a name and value. We can then print it to the standard output using the built-in system class. Now, because we're inside of a class, we define functions as methods on this class. The public keyword means that it can be used outside of this class, and static means that it's a member of the class itself as opposed to an instance of the class. We then provide a type and name and return a value from it. You can define your own custom classes, which are blueprints for objects, then add attributes and methods to them. Use the new keyword to instantiate an object from the class. It feels very object-oriented, but has evolved to support functional patterns like anonymous lambda methods. When your program is finished, use the compiler to generate a .class file, which contains the bytecode. Now use the Java command to tell the JVM to interpret and run that file. Congratulations, you just built an enterprise-grade application. This has been Java in 100 seconds. Hit subscribe for more short videos like this, and if we somehow get to 100,000 likes on this video, I'll do a full Java tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
All right. Good morning to everybody. Welcome to day 3 of the Java Coding Bootcamp. It's been a wonderful time. I'm so passionate about the Java Coding Bootcamp, and I think it's going well, and we have a lot in store. So I want all of us to be inspired by this particular class, and let's put in our all, because I personally believe that this is the most important IT training of your life. And so you need to really get it. And this bootcamp here is not an introductory class. It's not an overview class. We are doing the real studies. We are doing the real coding. We are studying the language itself right here. And so on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, early morning, 5 a.m., don't miss the live session. Join and let's take the lesson. And every day we'll have new things to study that will help us really break down and understand the language. All right, so we'll be starting today's lesson, and today we'll be looking at the main method. And before we get into the main method, we have a quiz from the previous lesson, and so the link has been shared in the chat. So kindly click on the link and the quiz will open. Everyone should participate. Provide your answers so that you will learn and you will also test your knowledge of the previous lesson. So let's do that quickly and we'll continue with this. All right, so I have my quiz console open right here. And the first question is this. It says, which of the following is a type of the packages in Java. So in Java, we have packages. We have something called packages. I edited the question and I think I didn't read again. All right, so which of the following is among the type of packages? So we studied about packages and we want to know that, which of the following is part of the types of packages we have in Java. Let me quickly edit this thing and we will take it again. So which of the following is among the type of packages? So let's just take it this way. Later I may rephrase it. All right, so A, we have user-defined package or packages, user-defined packages. Then B, we have object-oriented packages. C, we have built-in packages. And D, we have A and C. So what is the answer? What is the answer? Just choose one and let's code. Now, everyone should participate. So over here, we don't want you to just be observing. You are not an observer here. You are here to participate. So please choose an answer. It's on your phone. Just select one of them and let's continue. All right. So we have 20% saying that it is a built-in packages, built-in packages. So yesterday, we learned that there are built-in packages. Next week, we'll be focusing on built-in packages because we can't do anything without using the built-in packages in the Java libraries. So we really need the built-in packages. So built-in packages is okay, but then we also learned that we have user-defined packages. And these are the packages that we define ourselves, because in Java, you have to create classes and your classes are going to be numerous. So what a package does is that it groups your classes for you, just like a folder. So a package is a folder that you put certain related classes in. If you want to group other classes in another package, you create a new package and you group your classes in. So the correct answer here is D, A, and C. All right, so second question says that a class in Java is simply a blueprint for an object. True or false? A class in Java is simply a blueprint for an object. Is it true or false? Please submit your answers. Submit your answers now. And let's continue. We are talking about classes. So I just spoke about classes. We create a lot of classes in Java. Java is an OOP language. Not like C++ where you can create OOP. No, with Java, everything is OOP. So we create a lot of classes. So what is a class? A class is simply a simple and short definition of a class. So we are saying it is simply a blueprint for an object. Is it true or false? So just pick one. If you don't know, just choose one. I believe that if you make mistakes, you learn, and what you learn, you never forget. It's better than being taught. When you are told something, you can forget, but if you make a mistake and you are corrected, you will not forget. So let's see how we are doing. And 100% we selected true. So it is true. The correct answer is true. Java has classes, and a class is a blueprint for an object. Later, we'll start creating objects and you'll see how it works. We also learned that classes also group our methods and their attributes for us. All right, so let's switch over to the main lesson for today. And we are talking about the main method, day 3. And this is myself. My name is Darlington, and I'll be taking you through this bootcamp. It's an honor and a privilege for me. Albert Einstein said that I can is 100 times more important than IQ. I can is more important than IQ. Believing that you can is more important than your IQ. You may be a very smart person, but if you don't believe that you can do something, you cannot do it. And the point here is that this Java you've been hearing about, some of you have been hearing Java for 20 years now. This Java you've been hearing about, and people that you see programming Java that you have elevated them as so intelligent and so powerful, and you have elevated Java in a way that you have put it on a pedestal and you think Java is something that is so hard to learn. It's not like that. Now that we are in the spirit and the season of Java, this is the time to absorb Java. And so you have to believe that you can get it, and you can. It is very simple. Especially for those of you who have done the C++, Java is going to be very easy for you. So believe you can, and you can do it. All right, so we are getting into the lesson for today, and I have a very, very short clip for you. Let's watch the clip, and after that, we'll get right into it.
Hi, my name is Jaroslav and I'm senior Java developer. I have a master degree from electrical engineering and informatics. I'm married and I've got one son. And when I was young, I had a dream to be an archaeologist or programmer. Dream comes true and I'm programmer. So my job is not only my job, but it's also my hobby. I'm in IBM because I was looking for new challenges to join big international company with interesting scope of work. I wanted to work in an environment where my previous experience would be appreciated, where I could grow personally and professionally. Also, IBM impressed me with a number of projects as well as a package of benefits. Currently, my client is IBM CIO department, where we are developing the application for costing and pricing, which is used in many teams in many countries. We are responsible for development, testing, and support. I would recommend IBM to my friends because this company offers many opportunities, like working on international projects, connect with experts from different areas, pass many certificates, and meet interesting people from various countries. IBM is a company where people respect you, push you, help you, and encourage you.
IT and software development has helped so many people to have good careers and good lives, good living. And as you study Java, you too will get there and get a good living through your knowledge of Java. If you're a Java developer, you have a lot of opportunities and a great potential ahead of you. All right, so this morning's lesson is about the main method. The main method. Now, when we say the main method, we are not talking about when you hear the main method, we're actually talking about one particular method called main. So we are referring to a method that has a name called main. So let's get into it. Now, yesterday, this is exactly where we got to. This was a screen, the code we worked on, and you could see that we created a package. We created a class called my class, and you can see that my class here is the main file with the .java extension. You can see our PSVM, which is a public static void main, and the string args. And then we just printed one line that said, hello guys. So if you are not here, I want to quickly write this code again for you to see how I did it. And as I am doing this, I want to believe that everyone here has installed the IntelliJ. And at the end of the lesson, I'm going to ask you to show me your screen and write this code. You see, it's going to take about just 1 minute to write this code. So I'm going to give you the opportunity in the last 10 minutes of the class for you to write this code. Now, once you create your class, this will be created for you. Your package will be created for you in IntelliJ. This line here, you can just type PSVM and it will spit it out for you. This one right here, you can just type S out and it will spit it out for you. All you will do is to type hello guys. So I want to believe you can type hello guys in less than a minute. So let me show you how to write this code again. And my package is com.infosource. We explained that yesterday. So I'm going to launch my IntelliJ IDEA community version 2022. And let me start a new project. To start a new project, just give it a name. Here we'll call it Hello World. And we already have Hello World. So let me do 03 as in part 3. And once the project starts like this, you have to locate your source folder here. Locate your source folder here, right click on it, go to new and select Java class. So this is where you indicate if you want to create a package. Okay. And to create a package, we learned that you can use the reverse of your domain name. So mine is com.infosource like this. If your domain name is webfaddy, you can do com.webfaddy. If your domain name is Sitio Online, you can do com.sitio online. Then you add your class dot class, you see. So I'm going to do this again, com.infosource like this, and then I'll say my class and I'll hit enter. So by hitting enter, you can see that the package has been created, the class has been created. All I need to do is to hit enter and type PSVM tab. Then the PSVM has been spat out for me. Then I'll type S out tab. This has been done for me. Then I'll type hello guys right here. I'm done. So this is what we did yesterday. And at the end of the lesson, I want to give you the chance to do the same. So you will do the same for me. All right, so let's continue. And our job here is to find out what the main method is. First of all, what is a method? What is a method? Now, a method is simply a function that belongs to a class. Okay, so a method is a function, but it is called a method when it belongs to a class. If it doesn't belong to a class, we call it a function. So what is a function? A function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. So we have codes that are written down and they all have names and they are just waiting to be executed. Once you call them, then they come and perform their task. Think of a remote controller. You know, there are numbers on the remote controllers and there are buttons. All of those are functions waiting for you. When you press one of them, then that one will come into action. When you press another one, then that one will be activated. But right now, they are all there, ready and waiting. That is how functions are. So in Java, we just create remote control buttons down. They are functions. If you want any of them, you call. Now, there's one particular one that is called the main method. And this main method is the point from where the program starts its execution, or it is the entry point of a Java program, and it is the most important method in Java. And the fact is that that method main is like a compulsory method. You can create a lot of methods, but here we are talking about one method that is compulsory, that you need to have. Is compulsory. Okay, so that is the main method. So we've seen what methods are. They are simply functions, but they belong to a class, so they are methods of a class. But then we are going to focus on one particular one that is called main. This main is a unique one. It's like the homepage of a website. Okay, so your Java program needs that entry point. So we don't call main. Main is compulsory and main is executed by itself. We learned that functions needs to be called, but main is like an automatic function that once the program starts, the program looks for main and activates main automatically. So there's only one method that is activated automatically, and that is main. Every Java program should have the main method, and its syntax is always public static void main. Then you provide your argument string args, public static void main. PSVM. Now, why public? Public is the access modifier. So in Java, we will learn about access modifiers. We have private, protected, we have public. When you use the public, what it means is that you are making that particular method or class global. When we're learning mobile apps, we learned about global variables. You see, we also looked at local variables. Local variables are variables that live within a method or live within a class. And so they cannot be accessed when you are outside. Those are local, but the global ones can be accessed from anywhere in the code or in the program or in the project. So for your class to be globally accessible, you have to use a keyword public, and that is the access level. Okay, in the CIA, they have different clearance level. So public is the highest one. That means it can be accessed from anywhere. All right, so it has to be public to indicate that it is globally available so that the JVM can access and execute it. So the main method, we are talking about the main method. Why should the main method be made why is it public? Why is the main method public? So that's what we are talking about. So it doesn't mean all your methods should be public. If you want other methods to be private, you can. But for the main method, it needs to be public because we need to have access to it. So it's like you opening it up to be accessible. That's all. Now, why is it static? And this is very important here. It is static because it says that when the static keyword is associated with a method, the JVM can access it and invoke it without instantiating the class or creating an object first. All right, so we've seen that methods belong to classes, right? A method is in a class. So this main method is in a class. Now the class here in OOP, for a class to be used, an object needs to be created first. What is an object? An object is an instance of a class. So before you can use a class, after you define it down, you need to instantiate it. You need to create an instance. Now, the main method we target with static, and the static there, the job is doing is that the class doesn't need to be instantiated before we can get access. Because of the static, we can get access even if we don't create an object. Even if you don't create an instance first. You don't create an object first, you can still have access to main. So we are talking about how we can access the main. So public helps us to access. Static also helps us to access. Next question is, why is it void? And this is very simple. I think this is the easiest to understand because we'll be talking about functions, how to create functions. And one important thing about functions is that every function needs a return type. There's something called return type right here. Every function needs a return type. The same way every variable needs a data type. So variables have data types, functions have return types. There are several return types. We have int, we have float, we have double, we have boolean, we have char, we have a lot of return types. But then if the function will not return anything at the end of its operation, it needs a return type called void. Anytime you give a return type to a function, it means that whenever you call the function, when the function is done working, the function will bring an output or the function will return a value. But then if you call a function and you don't expect any value, either because the function will not give you any value or you don't expect any value, you call it with void. So void means it does not return any value. If I give it int, it will work, but it means that at the end of the day, it should bring me a value. So we are using void because it doesn't return anything and we don't expect anything. So that is why it is void. Then why do we call it main? Why can't we call it anything else? This main is compulsory. Why are we calling it main? All right, so we are looking at why it is called main, and we are saying that main is a name of the Java main method. It is a fixed identifier. The JVM looks for it to start the program. So it's like Java needs an identifier to know where to start your program. So if you don't use main, Java cannot find it. Okay, Java cannot find where to start your code. So every time we start a Java program, we need the main method. And it's not a keyword, it's a fixed identifier. It is compulsory, you need it. All right, so why do we have the string args in the bracket? And what this means here is that you see methods, when we start learning about methods, you see that methods always have brackets, those parentheses. Methods always have the parentheses, and these parentheses are expecting some things in them. So when you open parentheses, you have to give something. For example, this print line here, it is a method, so it has parentheses. So there has to be something in the parentheses. Now, what are those things in the parentheses? They are called parameters. Parameters here means that when you call a method, you need to feed the method with some information. Those information you feed the method, they are called arguments. Okay, so a parameter is in the bracket or the parentheses, but then the value of the parameter has a name called an argument. So the Java main method accepts a single argument. It accepts how many? Just a single. So you can see that there's only one argument here, but then the argument needs a data type. Okay, so the data type of the argument that the main method accepts is called a string array. Not just string, but string array. If it is only string, you will not see these brackets. Remember, in C++, whenever we are creating arrays, we use these square brackets. So it means it is a string, but then an array, and this right here is a parameter. This is a data type of this parameter. Just like creating a variable, you see, to create a variable, you need a data type, and then you need the name of the variable. All right, so the Java main method accepts a single argument of data type called string array, which is also called the Java command line argument. Here, the name of the string array is args. So args is the name of the parameter you've chosen, but then, or you are going to give. But then it is not fixed. The user can use any name in place of args. But then the string array is important. And by default, we have args there, but you can change it. All right, so this is how it is. And I think it should be clear by now. If you don't understand, you can ask questions. But quickly, let me go to my IntelliJ. And when I run this result here, when I run this, you'll see that it will build at the bottom. And when it's done, the terminal will open and I'm going to see the terminal will open and I'm going to see the result of my code. Okay, so it's done building. So you see, hello guys here, beautiful. All right, so this public here, let's make it private and see. And let's run. Let's make it public. I've made it private. Okay, so I'm not even able to run. Okay, let me change it to, okay, something is building. All right, let me change it back to public and see. You see, I can run. But when I change it to private, I couldn't even run. So your IDE can handle this in a different way. When I remove the static, I'm not able to run. I call this a chat method and I can't even run it. All right, so please, so you can see that all these things are compulsory. So you have to soak it. And IntelliJ does a great work for us by allowing you to type just 4 letters, PSVM.